Hey guys, this is Stephanie and I am Stacks on Stacks on Stacks. Today I'm coming to you guys with my second round of reread, rewrite, burn. Basically, I filled out way too many slips of paper and I didn't want my last video to be incredibly long. So I kind of cut it off at 15 rounds. I'm guessing I can get another 10 rounds or so out of this. And I switched it to my Harry Potter mug that I got from Owl Crate, and because I needed my coffee mug back. So they moved. But this is the second video that you guys did request. So when I was watching back on my other video after I was done editing it, I was like, oh my goodness, there's so many books that are still left in the cups. So I'm kind of excited because I've thought of a few of them and I'm like, oh no, what if this one ends up with that one? What will I do? Well, we will find out. All right. So my first one.
1, 2, 3.
First one I have is The Lilac Girls. Oh, I read that last summer. Pride and Prejudice. And The Beekeeper's Apprentice. Wow. Well, I really liked it, but The Beekeeper's Apprentice is gonna get burned, guys. And I am going to say I'm going to rewrite Lilac Girls, though I don't know what I would change about it. It was such a good book. It's such a good historical fiction. Just such a good book. I don't know if there's anything I could rewrite about it at all, really. Maybe at the end. I think it's based on some actual people, but it has some fiction in it. So maybe at the end, one of the 3 women that it's based on, I would give her a little more closure or something like that. Maybe. I mean, it's such a minute thing. Only because I cannot change Pride and Prejudice. It's one of my all-time favorite books. And it's a book I've read so many times, and I love it. And I love the characters. And I can't change it. Maybe I'll reread it soon. Maybe I'll just watch the BBC Colin Firth version of the movie because I love that too. I do love that. All right, and next 1, 2, 3. Round 2. The Hate You Give. Oh, I liked that one. Dark Matter. I liked that one too. Between Shades of Grey. These are 3 of my favorite books, you guys. Oh, stars. Ah. These are 3 5-star books for me. Okay, I'm gonna have to burn Dark Matter, which is insane because I loved that book. But these other 2, they're so good. It's like Sophie's Choice. Okay, I'm going to reread The Hate You Give because I just don't know if I could change any of it and rewrite. And then I'm gonna rewrite Between Shades of Grey, which is crazy because it is one of the best books ever. Maybe make it less sad. You can't do that. It would be unrealistic then. Oh, it was such a good book. I don't like that one. I do not like round 2 for Let It Be Written, Let It Be Known. Okay. 1, 2, 3. In the hopes that round 3 will be a little easier. An Ember in the Ashes. Ooh, that was a good one. Wonder Woman by Leigh Bardugo. And Outlander. Oh, Outlander. Now here's the thing. Of the 3 of these, I would have to say Outlander is my least favorite. But I'm not going to burn Outlander. I am going to rewrite it because one of the issues I have with it is the pacing of it in the first book. And it happens again in some of the later books. There's just some really slow parts. And I would re-edit those and rewrite those and make them not as slow. I would add more historical fiction to it, like historical parts to it. And I would honestly take away a bunch of the sex because it doesn't add to the story. It just doesn't. Like, it's a little overly explicit. It doesn't need to be there. We know they have sex. We know they love each other. I don't need to read about it. So, in my opinion, that's what I would change about it to make it rewritten better. And I think I would actually burn An Ember in Ashes, which is crazy because I really, really did like that book. But Wonder Woman, I loved. And actually, I do want to reread it. Like, just saying it, I'm like, I want to reread it. It was so good. It was so much fun. So that round was not better than the second round. It was not. Maybe that's why the first video was so easy for me because all the mediocre books were in that one and all the good ones are left for this. I hope not. Okay. Round 4, Scrappy Little Nobody. That is by Anna Kendrick, who was in Pitch Perfect. The Time Traveler's Wife. I did not like that one. And Across the Universe. I hate 2 of these books. Are you serious? Okay, fine. Across the Universe, you can burn. I didn't like it. It was so just slow and pointless, and I didn't like it. I'm going to rewrite The Time Traveler's Wife, and this is why. Again, there was so much sex in it, and it was needless. Like, it did not further the plot. It did not, you didn't learn more about your characters or anything like that. It was just like, and then we did it. Then we did it again. Oh, we did it more. And I'm like, good for you. I don't want to read about it. So if I took all of that out, I think I would have liked this book, actually. But because it was all in there, I was like, blah. And then I would reread Scrappy Little Nobody, only because it's the best of the 3, not because I thought it was an amazing book. I know, kind of sad. Okay, let's mix this up. Let's get some goods and some bads and some uglies in here. Okay, round 5, Finding Audrey. Oh, I liked that one. That was cute. And then there were none. It's one of my favorite. Cruel Beauty. I didn't like that. So we're going to burn Cruel Beauty. We are going to rewrite Finding Audrey. I don't know what I would change about it. Actually, it was a very endearing book. Maybe a little more conflict in there. I mean, most of her conflict is about her anxiety of leaving the house. And to somebody who has anxiety, that is huge conflict. But I don't know. Maybe an additional conflict that people who don't have anxiety could understand and like relate with. But I've had anxiety before, so I related just fine with it. But we'll rewrite it. Only because, and then there were none was perfect. Because Agatha Christie is the bomb. Let's see here. Oh, I got 2 on that one. And round 6 will be Heartless by Marissa Meyer. Isn't it funny how some books, when you say the title, you automatically say the author afterwards? Like, I just have certain books I say that, especially maybe if it's just like a shorter name, like Heartless. You just say, by Marissa Meyer. And then there are other books you just don't say who the author is. Maybe it's because you don't know the author. I don't know. But let me know down below if you have that issue too. Dumplin'. Oh, I liked Dumplin'. I actually read those 2 books like back to back, I think. And The Zookeeper's Wife. Well, I didn't like that, so that's an easy burn. Let's burn Zookeeper's Wife. It was ill-paced. It was not good. I am actually going to rewrite Heartless, though I did like it. I had some problems with it, especially the character development with Kath. So I would rewrite that and fix that, and I would make her change more gradual. I felt like it was a little sharp, but I'm just, picking because it was a pretty good book. And then I'm going to reread Dumplin' because I loved Dumplin'. I loved the message. I just liked it. It was a great book. She did a good job. Round 7, we have The Lightning Thief, Percy Jackson. Okay. We have Harry Potter. Well, I think I know I'm rereading. And Murder on the Orient Express. Okay, well, I'm going to burn The Lightning Thief. And this is because I really like these other 2 books. Though I actually liked The Lightning Thief, I think because I read these Percy Jacksons in my adulthood and not when I was like, preteenish. I probably don't appreciate them as much as other people. Though I've heard the later books are more adultish, like Apollo and Magnus Chase and those. So I will get through the Percy so I can get to those. I liked it, but it's got to burn. And I am going to re-edit Murder on the Orient Express. Couldn't tell you what I'd change. Absolutely great. Maybe quicken up the pacing, but you could say that about most of Agatha Christie's books. And then when you get to the end, you're like, actually, that was the perfect pace to get me here. It seemed slow at the time, but it wasn't. I know, she's amazing. And then I'm gonna reread Harry Potter. And since I didn't specify which one, I'll just have to reread them all. All right, round 8. Ooh, I got 3 on that one. Okay, round 8. From a Certain Point of View. That was the Star Wars book that I read last fall, and I liked it. Renegades! I liked that one too. By Marissa Meyer. And Young Elites. I did like Young Elites. It did have some problems with it. It's a series that I kind of want to finish this year. Though I said that at the beginning of the year, which, was like 2 months ago. And I said I wanted to finish that series. The more I've thought about it, the more I'm like, I don't think I'm going to finish that series. I don't know. So I may or may not. I don't know. I may replace it with a different series, like the Fallen Kingdom series. I actually didn't have that on the list because it wasn't a completed series, but I think the last book comes out some point this year. So I could read the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th one this year maybe and finish that one. I don't know. Burning. I think that I would... Now, it's really hard to grade from a certain point of view because it was like 40 different authors. So some of those some of the small stories I didn't like as other stories, but as a whole, I liked the stories. Like, I liked the idea. I liked the way they picked characters in the background that are like just standing there pushing a button to get an elevator to open up, and then they have a whole story about how his day was and how he blew up on the Death Star, and just it was good. It was good. So I'm having a hard time separating all those stories. But I do think Renegades could use a small rewrite. I think I would have enjoyed getting to know some of the supporting characters a little better in Renegades. I got to know my two main characters really well. The plot was great and it was well thought out and it was well put together. But yeah, maybe rewrite and get to know some of my sub-characters better, and then I'll just reread a certain point of view and probably skip the stories I didn't like. Actually, no, I wouldn't skip them. I'd just reread them because I really liked it. And actually, I listened to the audiobook and it has different people reading them, and that was fun too. So yeah, that was a good Audible buy for me. Round 9.
Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Ooh.
Get to the bottom of the cup. Hooray! Okay. You're Never Weird on the Internet. That was an autobiography by Felicity Day. She is in the Guild and she's in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the last season. She's currently in the MST3K that's on Netflix, and I haven't watched it yet, but she's great. It was a good book. I liked it. I also have Looking Glass Wars and Warcross. Okay, well, I didn't love Looking Glass Wars. It's been a while since I read it, probably a good 2 years, but I think I will reread You're Never Weird on the Internet. I did like it. I actually listened to that one too on audiobook because Felicia Day reads it, and I liked it. Okay, I think I will burn Warcross, and I know a lot of people like it, but it had problems, and the romance in it seemed awkward and unbelievable, and it needed to be more fleshed out, honestly. I saw the end coming from a third into the book, so I'm just gonna burn it and pretend like I never read it. And I'm gonna rewrite Looking Glass Wars. I'm gonna change it. It definitely had some pacing issues. The plot was good and it wasn't super predictable either, but it definitely had some slow parts to it, so I think I would change those. Round 10. First one we have is Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. I did like that one. Saga had a lot of like sex in it and adult content, and I was just like, oh, if you could take some of that out, I'd probably like it more. But the plot I did appreciate. And Shatter Me. Okay, I'm actually going to, I know you're all like, you're gonna burn Shatter Me. I am not. I am going to burn Saga because I just won't continue with the series. So burn it. I'm going to rewrite Shatter Me, and I'm going to take out those things I had issues with. I'm going to shorten it by a good 100 pages, and I'm going to make it more of a novello intro to the other books because I've told the other books are better, but the first book, it just had so much cringeworthy stuff from the characters and the lack of development and the lack of anything happening. So I'm going to change that and rewrite it into a shorter book that I think I would really, really like, and that would get me to read the rest of the series. So I'm going to reread Red Queen, which I didn't hate. Like, I feel like people loved it and then people hated it. And I didn't hate it. I didn't love it, but I liked it. I thought it was fun. It was interesting. The second book had some pacing issues and some characters doing things I didn't think those characters would do, but I will finish the series eventually and apparently reread the first book. Okay, round 11. We have The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue, Peter Pan, and the Dresden Files. Well, I'm going to reread the Dresden Files because I like the Dresden Files. They are great books, kind of supernatural. They're adult books, and they're kind of a supernatural. You have like wizards, and you have fae, and you have this world that's just kind of on top of our world. So it's in our world, but it's this, oh, you don't even notice it kind of thing. And there's such good writing. There's such good books. Apparently I'm rereading the whole series. And I think I'm gonna burn Peter Pan. I'm sorry, April Sarah, I know you love this book, but I read it in the past, and I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. So I reread it maybe a year and a half ago, and there was just so much I didn't like about it, and it was super slow, and maybe it's the speech I didn't like. Maybe I needed to read an animated version. The version I read was just words on a page, but I just didn't love it, and I prefer the cartoon. I know, kill me. So then I'm going to rewrite The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue. And what I'm going to change is I'm going to make the main character a little more likable. I know you're not supposed to like him, like he's kind of supposed to be a bit of a jerk, but I really didn't like him. Like to the point where I wouldn't keep reading books in the series, except that I heard the next book is actually from his sister's point of view, and I liked her, so I will read that one. But they just made him so dislikable and so slimy that I was like, no. So I would rewrite that and I'd make him a better person. Round 12. Ooh, I'm almost to the bottom of the cup. I can see it. Okay. Nimona. I liked Nimona. Oh, I have 2 here. Okay. We Were Villains, which I just read last month? The beginning of this month. I just read at the beginning of this month. And The 1,000th Floor. I am going to reread Nimona because I love Nimona. It's great. It's so fun. It's such a great graphic novel. And I am going to rewrite The 1,000th Floor because I just feel like it didn't really have pacing issues. It had a lot of characters, and a couple of the, you could say, lesser characters play a bigger part in the second book. So I would actually flesh them out a little more in the first book so that I can appreciate them more in the second book. And I guess I'm going to burn We Were Villains, which I really liked. I really wouldn't burn it. It was a good book. It was definitely adult, but I liked it. I'm so sorry to burn it. Goodbye, villains. Okay, round 13. We're almost done. The selection. I liked the selection. It was good. November 9. I don't think it matters what this third thing is. I think I'm going to burn November 9. And A Series of Unfortunate Events, which I also didn't like. Wow. All right, well, let's burn November 9 because that book was a steaming pile of crap. You can watch my husband's review on it if you want to. Blech. I'm going to rewrite A Series of Unfortunate Events, and I'm going to make the ending pay off because that just infuriated me that I spent all that time reading 13 books and the payoff was like nothing. And if he wrote a 14th book, I wouldn't read it. I'm not falling for that crap again. I guess I reread the selection. I was thinking it'd be the one to burn when I originally wrote it down because I was like, I read it, I liked it, I didn't love it. I was just like, this was a good fluffy read. And I did read all 3 books in 2 days, but still, I guess that's the one to reread. So round 14, I have A Monster Calls, Orange, and The Aeronauts Windlass. I'm gonna have to burn that one. That's by Jim Butcher, who also does Dresden Files, but I just didn't love it. And maybe I wasn't in the mood to read it, and that's why I didn't love it, but it was a great idea, but it just fell flat for me. And I think I would edit Orange, which is a manga, and I really liked it. Maybe make it easier for me to understand. I don't know. But because I have to leave A Monster's Call, I have to leave it. It's a great book. So round 15, I only have 2. So I guess I'm going to rewrite and burn and reread, but I just don't have to do all 3. Everything, and Reboot. Okay, I'm actually going to... Well, fortunately, neither of these books are really burn-worthy. So I think I will reread Reboot. Reboot. Say that 5 times real fast. And yeah, I'll reread it. I did like it, and I actually want to continue on in that series. I think it's just 2 books, but it's by Amy Tintera, I think. But I liked it. It was good. And then I will just rewrite Everything. It was a good book, but it did have a few problems here and there. I think I would kind of, just edit it down a little bit more, and there we go. There you go, guys. 15 more rounds of reread, rewrite, and burn. I'm going to go ahead and go through again like I did last time and talk about my burns, my rewrites, and my rereads, and let you guys decide what you would do differently. I am going to burn The Zookeeper's Wife, Aeronauts Windlass, Beekeeper's Apprentice, Peter Pan, Warcross, An Ember in the Ashes, Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief, Dark Matter, Cruel Beauty, November 9, Young Elites, Across the Universe, Saga, and We Were Villains. I am going to rewrite Outlander, Orange, The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue, Lilac Girls, Finding Audrey, Renegades, Heartless, Shatter Me, Between Shades of Grey, Time Traveler's Wife, Everything, Looking Glass Wars, The 1,000th Floor, A Series of Unfortunate Events, and Murder on the Orient Express. Though I couldn't tell you what in the world I would change about that last one. And the books I would reread: Dumpling, Nimona, A Monster Calls, The Selection, Reboot, Harry Potter, Wonder Woman, Dresden Files, Red Queen, The Hate You Give, You're Never Weird on the Internet, Pride and Prejudice, Scrappy Little Nobody, and then there were none from a certain point of view. So just like last time, comment down below with which books that I decided to reread you want to burn and which books I decided to burn you want to reread. Again, this is not really a tag, but if you want to do it, please do it and then tell me you did it. I will come watch it on your channel because I think this is so much fun. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and you can click the bell icon if you want to be notified when I have new videos, which coincidentally is on Tuesdays and Fridays, and I will look forward to seeing you then. Goodbye!